Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Happy March. Happy all the things. It is almost spring. Yesterday it was I think it was like 74 and sunny here in Louisiana. If you are not in Louisiana, it is Mardi Gras around these parts. Just means my babies are home with me, which is what I love. I avoid all that other stuff at all costs. So thank you so much for jumping on. A lot of us, I'm seeing your beautiful faces, are coming back from our Rising Leaders Retreat. We were on a cruise ship. We went to Key West. We went to the Bahamas. Um, and I'm back on land, but I still feel like I'm rocking back and forth. We were in church yesterday, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in the theater again with the training. Like the whole church was rocking back and forth. It had a little bit of drama to the Sunday sermon. Anyway, um, I made a post the other day because I am just thrilled that I get to brag that I've been to every single leaders retreat that we've had. Well, minus I didn't. I'll save the hot air balloon story for Deborah and Patty and all of them. That was the very first one. But Destin, Florida was 2011. So being a part of this company for almost 15 years, it has just been such a joy to be able to watch it grow, but also to see that um, our foundation and our principles that this company was built on, building a legacy company, have not changed. And it's just such a blessing. I love events and I love the opportunity to see so many familiar faces, to meet new people. A lot of you I got to hug in person, which is always wonderful because we meet here from all over. But I think that's one of the biggest blessings and joys of this business is it makes a really big world feel smaller. And then when we have these connections, and also hearing how other people are linked and connected, and Plexus kind of brought people back together, those stories just absolutely fascinate me. So we have tons to cover. We may go over just a little bit. I'm not sure yet, but we're just going to kind of rock and roll and see how things go. But I asked my sweet friend Mary Jo to share first because I wanted to first brag a little bit that this was they renamed it Rising Leaders Retreat. Over 70% of the people that earned this cruise were not Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond. It truly was an opportunity to be able to plug in, do the work, walk through the steps, earn all of the things. And Mary Jo did just that. She actually fast started gold during the contest period. So she went silver and then senior silver and then gold. She swept the entire contest. So she got to get swept up in all of the bloomies, fun and excitement, whether heads up if you join Plexus and you're an introvert or people kind of are a little bit overwhelming. I don't know, Mary Jo, we don't have to touch on that, but you will get thrown into a lot of happy people having the time of their life. So, Mary Jo, I would just love for you, whether you want to share a takeaway or your overall experience, let's just, I would love to hear your thoughts. I'll let you unmute. Oh, hold on, hold on. Can you do unmute yourself?
Okay. Can you
There
hear me?
you go. Yeah,
Perfect. Asking me to share what an experience it was. So early on, when I was earning this, I realized not only did I earn it for myself, but I also helped other people earn like things on this trip, which was amazing to me. I've been in network marketing before in Plexus and I loved it. Life happened and I changed directions and I'm back. And this trip was absolutely so eye-opening to me to have the vision that I needed to see that I wanted more. And it's not just about being able to go on a shopping spree and like buy a super expensive purse or anything like that. It really is the ability to link arms with people and help them to do the exact same thing. So I am just so excited for all of it. There's so much great content that we all brought back and want to share with everybody. I know that our, team thread has a lot of really great information. And I think the biggest takeaway on the business side of it is to ask. I have a lot of people. I helped a lot of people. And, I will be the first one to say I did not ask any of them if they had somebody that they wanted to do this with. Hey, do you have, your mom, your sister? Who do you have that you want to do this with? Who do you want to be your partner? Who's your plus one? I've never asked. And so from there, I'm going to ask every single person. And I've invited several people to our Monday and Thursday night calls already. So I have people already that are wanting to get on because the vision is able to be cast for people from this event. And if you did not go on this event, take our pictures and post them because people are going to see that something big is happening in your company and that your company does this for anybody. So post those pictures, y'all, and cast that vision because I was afraid to cast the vision. I was afraid that people would think that I was only doing this so that I would earn the shopping spree or that I would earn this cruise or whatever. And that is not true. Everyone has been so happy for me and cheering me on. And I know that they'll do the same thing for you. So if you didn't go on the trip, post the pictures, share about it, all the things, because people really do want to see people succeed in a company. So it was amazing. Can't say enough things about how great everyone was. And the other thing that stood out to me that really touched every part of who I am because I'm a helper, I'm a yellow person, I'm blue, I'm fun, Alec and Tarl and all of them were accessible to everyone. They were at the parties, they were mingling, they were like amongst us. And that was a really amazing thing to see them. So it was incredible.
Yay. Congratulations. I'm glad you went back and got that purse. I know it's hard to spend some of that money, but it's a lot easier when it's money that Plexus hands you. So I'm glad you did that. The very first shopping spree that I earned, y'all, was, 13 years ago or whatever, and I did get a big fancy purse. I used that thing for a diaper bag. I used it for a purse. I used it for an overnight bag. I used it for my carry-on. It's still going strong, so it's definitely worth it. So Mary Jo actually touched on one of the key things that I brought away. We cannot assume that people know what we do, and we cannot assume that they just are saying no thank you, right? We just have to ask. And you guys have heard me say it over and over and over and over again. That one question of, if I blank, would you blank? One question of, if I could share with you like how I earned this cruise, would you be open to hearing how we could vacation together next year? Just ask. And it's one of those things where even as I'm sharing it with you, like it rolls off my tongue for you guys, but I don't have a list of people that I've actually said that to in the last month or two. And I always find when I feel like I'm oversharing or over posting is when people are finally like, oh, I didn't know you still did that. Or, oh, I didn't understand what this was. So, and then, yesterday I had somebody, we were sitting in church and I got that little email that said, you have a brand new VIP customer. And I was like, oh my gosh, people are actually paying attention. And that's so much fun. So on that, I'm going to, in just a second, I'm going to let Jessica share a few thoughts with you. But I saw a post this morning and I loved it. Allie Thomas, she is one of Jill Renfro's leaders. And she made this post. She said, my wow moment of the morning. 2 years ago, someone told me that I could earn 2 free iPads. Naturally, I asked, how can I do that? And it was the iPad incentive that piqued Allie Thomas's curiosity 2 years ago. And she is now a Sapphire ambassador while in nurse anesthesia school. I am married to a nurse anesthetist. I am telling you right now, this girl is like setting goals and going places to be able to work her business to Sapphire by casting vision, knowing that she wanted some income while she was in anesthesia school is like next level. That vision casting of what's possible is so important. And it might take posts like Allie Thomas saying, in 2 years, I went from zero to Sapphire while getting my doctorate in nurse anesthesia. Like that's like next level vision casting, but you can do it. And it's possible. In Leaders Retreat and Convention and Super Saturday, these are the places that will plant those seeds of belief and then pour gasoline all over the flames when you get momentum going. So we are building event to event with our calendar, and it's very specific for how we can let people know, this is what I earned. I want you to come along and do this with me. So convention is next. And Jessica, I would love if you just want to jump in and share what your takeaways were.
Sure. So, I got to see Sarah. It's so crazy how on a ship where, it's all your people, you can still miss people, but we did get to see each other. So that was great. Connect for a minute. And for me, what it really for me, I'm kind of in like the rebuilding phase of my business. And so it's interesting to hear from Mary Jo, who's restarting again. And for myself, it just reignited the passion and belief in myself to be on a ship with all of these people. Like you said, Sarah, this is the third cruise I've been on with Plexus. And to see how many young people, like there were so many young people that had earned this cruise, so many families. And it was just so cool to see that multi-generational, right, on this cruise ship, and that anyone can do it. Anyone can do this. And so for me in the rebuilding phase, it was just great to just look around and be like, yes, people want this. People want what we have. People want the opportunity. People want the products. And people are building amazing teams. And so I'm just excited to get started on the rebuilding of my own business, and to, again, like you said, Mary Jo, to bring people on and bring them with me next time. And I'm hoping to sweep the contest next year. I've never done that, so that's my goal for next year. But it was amazing. I loved it. I love the way that they care for, that corporate cares for us so well.
They are so incredibly generous. And just when you think about the statistics of 70% of us on that ship are not diamond, emerald, or sapphire. And I think it's amazing. And every shape, size, personality type was represented. I mean, you all saw it in the dining room. Like everybody, there was an Amish couple that was like right in front of me in the dining room. I mean, you just never know. And the cool thing is that we left there with tools to be bold, with tools to be intentional. And I think one of my biggest takeaways was when Megan and Alita were up there. I'm a blue personality and I love fun and I love events and I love, hospitality, and I have a lot of yellow in me as well. And so what I took away was when Megan was up there and she was like, y'all, I moved to a new town and I hosted this event and nobody came. It happens when you're diamond too. And so often I let that red light story hold me back, that I'm not sure if people are going to come. I'm not sure if people are able to be a part of it. And what I loved is she said, it's a tool to follow up. And so when you are brave enough and you're bold enough and you host an event, and who cares if nobody comes, then you call that person that you invited and you say, hey, Sarah, I'm so sorry you weren't able to come. How are you doing? Tell me a little bit about your health goals. Tell me more about how I can help you. And it's an avenue to reach back out to them and follow up. And so that was my one of many takeaways from that training that I had that day.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I love that there were lots of different ideas for what you're doing, what's working. And for me, I'm like, well, goodness, I used to do events and meetings weekly, and now I haven't since 2020. And what am I waiting for? Like, that was really the big push. I'm like, oh my gosh, we have leaders on stage that are letting us know that events are still where it's at. Now, the great thing is we're not a party plan company. You don't have to book parties, but have a sip and see. Go meet people at a coffee shop. I'm going to go walk a wedding vendor show next week, just to kind of see, like, get where the people are, because we have products that people need. So yes, I absolutely love that and absolutely agree with that. So I shared a few clips in our One Plexus Power Hour Messenger chat, just from some of the trainings. And one of the biggest things that I loved was when Amber Miller, and I'm going to try to find like the full training, but she also did a full training in Maui where it was kind of along these same lines. But when she got up and she said she realized that she had kind of hit this plateau where she was not developing new leaders, she was like, okay, wait a second. Like, I've got to like change something or she's like, okay, so here's my tip. Like, how do you attract new people who want to build this business with you so we can grow? You talk about it and you talk about it a lot and you let people know what this is. And so she said that when she started sharing about what's possible and what this business opportunity is, that is when she started attracting people who started saying, me, I want to do this. And over the next year after she decided that she was going to audit how she's posting, how she's sharing, who she's talking to, and what she's saying, she was able to develop 10 new level 1 gold and above leader legs because she was talking about the business and she started attracting people who wanted the business. That was just a huge takeaway for me when she said that. You just have to talk about it. You just have to share about it. So I will try to find some more of those video clips. I put a little bit in our messenger chat, but I want to find the whole training. I know some people got some bits and pieces. So I don't know if you guys have seen the trend. I don't do TikTok, but I see a lot of stuff that gets reshared to Instagram and Reels and all that. Have you guys seen the Reels where they say, we listen and we don't judge, right? Or we share about it and we don't judge. So your one of your goals and action steps and takeaways is we ask and we don't judge, which to you should say, we're going to ask and share about the business and we're not going to prejudge what their answer is going to be. And may or may not be saying that to some specific people on this call or who will listen to the recording, because you might be thinking to yourself, oh, they don't need it. They are a doctor. Oh, they don't need it. They have plenty of money. Oh, they don't want this. They're already on products from XYZ. I just want you to remember that you won't ever know an answer if you don't ask. So we're going to ask and not prejudge and start a whole new trend with all of that because asking is so key. I am going to let Steph go ahead. I'm going to let you share, and then I'm going to read a few more notes from something I would love for you to share.
Absolutely. I will make it very brief, but I will just tell all of you that I made a post last night and we had 18 team members join me, and I had never met 13 of them in person. That's a lot of people that I was waiting to see. Some have been with us for 2 or 3 years. They have little ones. They can't get to convention. They, forewent the last leaders retreat. Finally, everybody just drew their line in the sand and they literally said, I'm going to be on this. Some of them had 1 and 2 and 3-year-old children that they brought on the trip. One of ours was a single mom who literally pushed those babies around in the stroller all week. I was so proud of her, all by herself. Her husband couldn't come. But the chance to be together, and Kim knows this, it just fills my heart because I love all these ladies and I get really filled up by being with my people and getting to love on them. And it was the best week ever. And every single thing that we all got to do together, I saw them so much more than I thought I would on this trip. And that was just icing on the cake, but just getting to meet them in person. So just realize, like, I'm further along. I'm like the chapter 10 or 11 in Plexus where I just didn't quit and Kim didn't quit. And we just kept going. And we just knew that if we just kept doing what we were doing, people would start to join us. And they did. And then they shared with people and it just kept going. So that's the inspiration of just like Mary Jo shared, she's back. There are people that will come back to join you again. And it's going to be that full circle moment of having those people back again. And new people will just keep joining. So people are taking notice of Plexus. And that's where I'm going to leave it. But getting to be with corporate too, I loved all of that as well.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that so much. And when you can see the community, and then one of my favorite things was just walking all over and watching, like there was a team meeting going on over here and there was a team picture happening over here, and just seeing this, being able to see individual teams, but then all coming together as a company was just so encouraging and motivating and inspiring for me. Okay, so we're going to talk a few minutes about logistics with what does March look like for you, and what are the things that we need to be doing. If you want to jump in the comments, if you have one takeaway that you want to share, just let me know. And we will make time for that. But you guys noticed we launched a new flavor of Hydrate. This whole prejudging thing also, I saw two people say, I don't like watermelon. I will never purchase a watermelon and eat a watermelon, and I will drink this watermelon lychee hydrate all day, every day, because it's my absolute favorite. But I also love, for those of us that have been around for any amount of time, it's that it really helps with that flavor fatigue of maybe you just want to change things up a little bit. I don't want anybody to say they don't like something until you've mixed it with every version of every Slim and every version of every Hydrate and Active that we have, because I promise you there's about 350 combinations that we can now come up with between our Slims, our Actives, and our Hydrates. So just remember, that's one of those things that I'm just telling people, load it up. I don't even know what I have in this cup. I just opened a whole bunch of packets and dumped them in. And I'm like, bring on the blood sugar balancing, the energy, the hydration. I need it, whatever. Cheers, right? So being able to throw that out there for a different flavor profile, something new, something exciting, something that might grab some attention, do not miss this. I also, when I jumped on and ordered 4 more bags, it's exactly 100 PV. So maybe you've got somebody who's like, you know what, I'm not going to do the triplex. I'm not going to do this. That's awesome. Go buy you 4 bags of Hydrate and let's chat. Ooh, I have not tried it with just the black cherry MBA. Yes, but some people do not like the separate flavors. That could be a whole post, y'all. What's your favorite combination? What's your recipe? What are you changing things up for spring? So watermelon, lychee, don't miss the opportunity to post about that, invite, share. Talk to everybody who said they stopped drinking whatever because they didn't like the flavor. Now there's no excuse, right? So I absolutely loved how we started with our session. And BB got up there and did an amazing overview. And I want to just kind of recap, because you might be thinking, okay, March, like, what is this? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? This, I've earned every iPad and every Apple Watch for every contest. I've also got like 2 or 3 Apple AirPods, all Plexus. My whole house is Plexus branded. Everywhere you go, there's nowhere that doesn't have like Plexus on it somewhere. As we're thinking about who are we sharing with, who are we asking, all of the things, you will be very surprised at the number of people who would say yes to how do I earn an iPad, like Allie Thomas did, versus, oh, I don't think I want to do any kind of, network marketing, building anything with you. So I want you to kind of put that out there that we already have an amazing compensation plan. We already have a phenomenal fast start program. Crazy things happen when you can win an iPad. I'm just going to if you are going to put your pedal to the metal, March is the time to do it. We had one November. I think we were on I can't remember what exactly was going on. We were at an event and it was the iPad incentive. And I was like, I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. It was years and years and years ago, but it was, I think, the first time we did the iPad incentive, and it was crazy. But you have to know what you want and how you're going to get there. But in order to have a GPS work correctly, you have to know where you're starting. What is your starting point? And circumstances don't matter. It's black and white. If you go back to February 28th in your back office and see what your pay points were, that number is concrete black and white data. There's no feelings about it right now. It is what it is. That is your starting point. So you have to assess your starting point, and then you have to set your destination. Where do I want to go? Do I want to earn an iPad? Do I want to go Ruby this month? Where are we going? Because then you're going to identify the steps to be able to map out how you're going to get there and take action to track that progress. So Brittany talked about, if we all just go out and enroll 6 and help 1 go silver, we're going to rank up and grow our businesses. Enroll 6 should just be one of those, things that we just kind of think about that as a realistic goal of something that I want to do. Or add 3 and help one person add 3, right? Add 3 and help one person to go silver. I love that is part of this because I don't want anybody running alone. I don't want you feeling like you have to do the heavy lifting and all of the personal recruiting. The faster you can get people to add their +1 or add 3 and run with you, the better. When I added my mom as my first ambassador, I was like, this is gonna be great. We're gonna do this together. Well, her first ambassador happened to be her hairdresser, who's also a pastor's wife, Denise. And I don't think I talk enough about the fact that when my mom and I went Emerald in 9 months, it was because my mom asked Denise to share. Actually, she said, you don't have to share if you could just put your business cards at your hair station and then send all your referrals to me. And Denise called my mom and said, hey, about that, I'm actually going to sign up and I'm going to keep those people for me and we're all going to do this together. And when Denise saw the vision and ran with it, she was right behind us in going Emerald. But it's just in that asking. And my mom went silver, Denise went silver, and then we all ran together from there. And it was so much fun locking arms and running with other people. So, identify the steps that you need to be able to map out and then take your action steps and track your progress. So the action steps obviously are why we get on here every Monday, right? We talk about expanding our network. We talk about reach outs. We talk about follow up. 8 to 12 times is not enough. We talk about the fact that it could be 1 year or 5 years before somebody says, yes, timing is a thing. I actually think that was one of my never take their current answer as their forever answer and don't limit their potential in what they say, right? Seasons change. You never know. So moving on from that, I think it was Amber that was talking about you need to build a business that lasts a lifetime, and your recipe for success is consistently enrolling, retaining, and growing. And those 3 things is kind of a rinse and repeat. So figure out where you are and where you want to be, and then do that evaluation of plan, do, review, adjust. Is what you're doing working? Keep doing it. If you feel like you've been taking action and you're not producing results, then there needs to be a mentor, a coach, your upline sponsor, whoever, who you can say, listen, these are the messages that I'm sending. Tell me what I'm missing, because 0 people have joined me. And there might need to be a little bit of a tweak or an adjustment in what those action steps are. Or maybe you don't have a strong call to action. Maybe they're saying yes and you're like killing them with so much data and information. And they're like, I said yes already. Are you going to tell me how I actually can order this stuff? I was doing that a lot. Like, people were interested in saying yes. And then I just kept talking and talking and talking and talking. And I never let them know. Here's your share cart. This is what you're going to do. The gal that just joined me, what day is today? Monday. The gal that joined on Saturday, she said, hey, I'm interested. I asked one question. Hey, what are your goals? She told me her goals. I said, this is what you need. Here's your cart. Boom. When I was in church, she ordered. That's it. There was no drama. There was no fluff. She told me her need. I told her I could help her. She said, how do I order? I gave her the cart. It was like 5 sentences and we were done. So don't overthink that, but you might need to be able to have somebody who can step in and say, coach you a little bit through. Maybe you're talking too much. Maybe you don't have a strong enough call to action, all of that. But if we consistently enroll, retain, and grow, we are going to rock and roll. And then this question, I'm going to write this somewhere and probably put it on my lock screen. Are you just selling or are you building? And there is a huge difference. And this is where we're going to circle back to what Mary Jo said. You have to ask, hey, are you interested in earning some money so you can pay for your products? Hey, what would it look like if I helped you earn $500 this month? You just have to ask. And so there were some screenshots that were shared. There you go, Cassie. I was selling and now I'm building. We just have to ask everybody, hey, who's one person? Who's one person that you could grab to do this with you? Like, make that part of the, yes, I'm interested. Yes, I just enrolled. Awesome. Who is one person that you can grab right now? Let's see, Cassie's hopped on late. I didn't get to Gold School. I don't live in the same state as my sponsor. I was so pumped to have my team with me. Got asked so many questions. Yes, saw so many cool gadgets, feel alive and seen and heard. I love that so much. Love meeting people from all over the world who had a Plexus testimony. That is so amazing. I needed my sister, who was my +1, to feel this company, and it became real. That is so great. I love that. Those stories, literally, I have goosebumps. Okay, Mary Jo, you said you had one or two more things that you just wanted to add on. I'm going to let you say those really quick, and then we will wrap up with a plan to get to work. Oh, and you got to unmute real quick. You got to do it from your phone. I know a phone is sometimes a little bit more challenging.
Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So this was a really awesome thing that they said. Y'all, I'm one of these people that like I need to have it look really great. And if it doesn't look great, then I don't want to do it. It's like I'm one of those people. I'm not a perfectionist by any means, and I'm a fly by the seat of my pants kind of gal, but like if it doesn't look right, I'm not doing it. But I just all caution to the wind, this is what I'm doing. They said in there you need to take an inventory, and I think you said this, Sarah, to take an inventory and then figure out at the end of the month how many times did you post in your stories, how many times did you post on your Facebook wall. And Sarah's always sending me messages like, hey girl, nothing's happening in your stories, there's what's going on. And I'm like, no, I did post, I mean, I have shared, but the truth of it is there's days that go by that we don't. So here's my little workout, and here's where I'm just like posting, and I'm going to track it. I can tell you that I already have had so many people messaging me because they're seeing my stories where they're just not seeing my stories. So there's that. Y'all track it, see what happens in that time. And then I have been just praying over my family over these favor scriptures, and they are incredible. They are powerful. And if anybody wants, I will take a screenshot of it or whatever, and I will send it to you. Favor is upon this company. It is undeniable. God is moving. He's doing all the things. And these scriptures are something that I'm praying over myself, my family, the people that are going to join me. So if y'all do want them, let me know. Or Sarah, if it's okay, I'll just take a screenshot and put it in the group chat, the fees.
Yep. Awesome. Thank you. And I love your sweatshirt. Great job. Perfect. Cassie, did you want to jump on real quick when we wrap up? I saw you give me a little wave.
Hello. I enjoyed the ship. I can't even express to you. The whole trip was amazing. I loved meeting my team. It was the coolest thing. I was in the lobby with my sister, and Kelly Olson recognized my hair color from behind and just walked up to me and was like, I know that hair. So that's how I got to say hello to my first person. Everywhere I sat, everybody I spoke to, everyone had testimony. The walking tour that I took in Nassau was filled with people from Vancouver. Two of the ladies started the same month as me, and we both ranked up. We had all of our same stories. It was exactly the amount of motivation that I needed. I enjoyed listening to the Diamonds speak. I'm limited. I only follow like 2 people beyond my team. So now I am following about 6 or 7 new folks. It was the icing on the cake. And like I said, I have 5 girls coming tonight to the opportunity call. And I'm not asking them. They have messaged me since they've seen me on the cruise. So these are people that I reached out to who said no. And now they're reaching out to me saying, okay, what was that again? I think I need to be on that boat. So
awesome.
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And that's a perfect segue because it's Monday. What happens on Mondays? We all get on the Meet Plexus, right? And so I want you guys to remember when we're personally inviting people like, hey, I thought of you. I would love to invite you to join me on this quick 15-minute call. So the first 15 minutes is anybody that you want to cast vision for, anybody that you want to hear the stories, but I don't want you to stop there. I need you guys to remember this call builds belief. This call, you're going to hear 2 more new stories. And then you are going to specifically message level 1 and 2 team members and say, I need you to hang tight with me for the second 15 minutes of the call because we are going to learn about how to earn. And we are going to do this together. We're going to find our 3. We're going to help somebody go silver. We're going to add our 6. We're going to earn iPads together and cast that vision for what's possible and then plug into the system. Plug into this simple system that duplicates. I had somebody come up to me on the cruise and they were like, so you've been here for 14 years. Like, tell me what's working. Give me your latest and greatest tip and whatever. And I didn't say anything initially. And they just kept talking. And they were like, I talked to so many people who just want, to be better coached or, a better system. And I was like, whoa, stop right there. Stop what you're saying right there. They were like, okay. I said, we do have a system that duplicates, that is being done for us. Meet Plexus calls. And I said, have you ever gotten on the Meet Plexus call? Well, I've just been so busy, I always forget. Have you ever invited to the Meet Plexus call? Meh. And I was like, there's your tip. I don't need to say anything else. Corporate calls that the vision was cast from top leaders who say, this is what we need. Mondays and Thursdays, 8 o'clock Central. The world should stop. I don't care where you are. I will be at baseball. Baseball season has started. You better believe if I'm sitting at the ball field on Monday night at 8 p.m., yes, I'm going to watch my baby pitch and do all the things, but I'm going to have one AirPod right here, and people are going to see that I'm on, and I'm going to be in that chat because I'm going to continue to invite and plug in because this duplicates. Because then if there is one Monday that I just can't get on, but I've invited 7 other people and they get on, they're going to hear the information. It's going to be professional. It's going to be short and sweet. We are going to respect their time. This is a system that will duplicate, and it's being done for us. Plug in and use it. You guys, I will never forget ever when I was a gold that wanted to go senior gold. We didn't have corporate calls. We didn't have all the, I guess we maybe had the freeconferencecall.com where we would dial in and hear a testimony or two. I was like, well, guess I'm just going to have to get on and do these trainings myself. And I will never forget thinking to myself, I'm not even senior gold. I can't believe I'm actually going to lead a call. So I read a book and read a chapter on the call. And I was like, this is what I learned, and shared it. And that's kind of where we went. We have grown so much with the tools and resources that we have to be successful, not to mention all of these, prizes and everything that you can get. So I want you to just remember that that system is there. It's not going away, and we need to utilize it. I hope we have thousands on every single week. That very first call, I think we had like 2,300 people on. And then the very next week, it was like half that. And I'm like, oh, no. Like, we need everybody to be on and then inviting 3 people. We should be growing with these calls. Yes, those call in 1-800 numbers were amazing. The freeconferencecall.com with the red phone graphics. Anyway, okay, I know we went over just a little bit, but this is a time where leaders are born at events. Amazing things happen. Use this to get everybody in your rowboat and start rowing together. And you guys have to get to convention. I am telling you, you have to get to convention. Convention in Dallas will be absolutely amazing. And that is really where you can bring your pens and paper, and leaders retreat. You're like, oh, that was a great training, but I want like 10 more hours. Come to convention. Then you get all the training and all the things and all the meetings and all the lunches. And, that's just where you're like on information overload because of all of the sessions and breakouts. And then we're going to have some phenomenal keynote speakers this year. So make sure that you get registered for convention. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. I want you to do your audit. Are you talking about the business? Are you sharing about the business? What is your plan for that? Maybe you went on the cruise and you're like Mary Jo and my twin sister Stacy, who not only didn't gain weight, but lost weight on the cruise because we have such amazing products. Maybe you haven't added a restore. You need to be talking about restore, all of the things. Let people know you're looking for your 6, that you're ready to go. Cast vision. I will direct you to, I'm going to post Amber Miller's training on the +1 and then developing people. And then if you have not watched Brittany and Christina's video on how to market around events, they did an amazing video. It's on YouTube, and I will look for that link on how to share even if you're not on the boat. You don't have to have earned Leaders Retreat to be using some of these pictures and posts and things that everybody's sharing, because you can use that to cast vision for where you're going to be next year. So make sure that you're doing that. So we're going to grow, we're going to retain, we're going to be consistent, we're going to reach out, and we're going to ask and not judge, right? So we're just going to ask people to get on the call, ask people to join you, ask people to try the products, ask, and then we will rock and roll with our March goals together. Thank you guys so much for jumping on. Remember, anybody's welcome. I'll post the recording on my YouTube channel. We'll see you next week.